You know when you hit the record button but then it doesn't record? Isn't that just like the worst? Like, isn't that terrible? I'm here to give you guys a book review, and I'm super excited about it because it is for this awesome fantasy book, Throne of Glass by Maas. So I got this book for my birthday in May from Bria, and I'm so thankful for it because it's a fantastic book, and it's like, I can feel it already jump-starting my reading life, and it's just, oh, it's so good. If you haven't read it, it's about this girl named Celaena Sardothien, who basically has the best name in the world. She is an assassin. She is like the most famous assassin in this fantasy world, and she starts off the book in this death camp place, basically, and she gets this offer from the prince, of course, Mr. Prince, and he's basically like, yo, be my champion, fight for me, and you can be free at some point. And there's this long list of like, but you have to do all of this before the freedom, but basically she's like, freedom, yay! So she goes into this competition for a chance to kill for the king, which is really dramatic, but also true. And so that's basically where our story goes. It is a mixture of Game of Thrones and like Hunger Games. There's kind of a little bit of the selection, but not so much because it's not her against other girls, but kind of the selection. It's also kind of like, what else? A little bit of Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I don't know. I don't know what else I can say to convince you to read this book because it's beautiful and it'll change your life. If you haven't read the book, my initial spoiler-free thoughts, I would have to give it like a 97, I believe. It was really fantastic. I loved it a lot, and I'm super excited to read the next couple of books. If you haven't read it, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. I'm sorry. You're gonna thank me in the future because you don't want to be spoiled. Yeah, so leave. Okay, bye. Fun fact, so I have now filmed this like 3 times. Yep, so if I sound like I'm repeating myself, it's because I kind of am. Throne of Glass. What a wonderful book. So, I loved this book a lot. It's like such a good fantasy read, but like it's easier to read than some fantasy books in my opinion. Like it was super easy to just get into it, and I felt like she withheld a lot of the like complicated world building factors until like later on in the book, which was really good. So like when I started out, I didn't really have to learn a lot of new like names, just a couple of like where things were located, but otherwise it was pretty like, oh hey, I'm in this like castle-y area with a king, like that's cool, an assassin, that's cool, like that's all I need to know right now. And then by the end of it she was like, bam, word marks, bam, all these fae, bam, bam, magic, bam, bam, demons, bam, bam, all this other stuff, and I was just like, glad you waited until the second half of the book to tell me all that. It starts out being something like you know where it's gonna go, and then by the end it just like explodes and you're like, how did I get to this place that I'm in? Let's talk about Celaena. Celaena is the coolest person ever, in my opinion. Basically, she is beautiful. Gorgeous blonde hair, of course. She has like a long braid and she's awesome looking. And then she's physically fit and fantastically strong, and she can beat up boys and the patriarchy all in one fell swoop. Like, that's pretty cool. Also, she's really clever. Like, I have not met a female protagonist that was as smart as her. Like, she thinks about all aspects of the situation before actually like going through it. Like when she went down into the like basement part and she was like, you know what, I'm gonna make sure the door is propped open, gonna get a thing of yarn so I make sure I'm not lost, gonna bring like a weapon. And I was just like, wow, like lots of forethought. Very impressive, Celaena, very impressive. And number 4, the most important part of Celaena Sardothien. She has a puppy. She's a puppy named Fleetfoot, and Fleetfoot is the cutest thing in the history of the universe. And I kind of knew that she was going to end up keeping it when she was like begging for it to stay, but it's super cute, so I don't really care. Like, it's just adorable and like cuddly, and I just want my own Fleetfoot. Like, that's all I want. Also, I loved how at the end, people kept visiting her in her room, and like you would just get random descriptions of what Fleetfoot was doing while they were talking. So like Celaena would be like moving her covers, Fleetfoot dug deeper into the covers, or Fleetfoot sat at Nehemiah's feet, you know, Fleetfoot did this, Fleetfoot fell asleep, and I was just like, puppy, so cute, so cute. And then we have Nehemia, who is like the awesomest princess in the universe. She is ready for rebellion. She knows how to speak these different languages. She can talk like with word marks and do all this healing, and she's like the best friend you can ever have. Like super awesome, super loyal, and I'm just so glad that she and Celaena are friends because I feel like they can help each other a lot. And I loved when Nehemia actually came to the duel and she was like dressed in like this nice like pants and a tunic, and she had that awesome staff, and she was like, I'm ready to smash the patriarchy. Here you go, Celaena. Help me. And so that was really cool. I do still wish that Celaena had chosen Chaol's sword, just because I love Chaol, and I think it would have been really cool if she could have been like, ha! I have the Captain of the Guard sword. I have a blessing. Suck on that, bitches. And then it didn't happen, but... Also, I'd like to share a fantasy I have of Celaena. I feel like what she should be doing is like, there would just be a scene, like if there was a movie, she would just be like standing there and she'd be holding her swords like walking towards you, and then in the background you'd have some like fire and explosions, and then you just have Beyonce's Girls Run the World playing, and she would just be like, ah, smash the patriarchy, bam, bam, bam. And it would be really cool. Also, I'm petitioning to have Blank Space by Taylor Swift be her new theme song, because I just can't stop picturing Celaena being like that. Like, I think she could be really good at singing Blank Space. Okay, moving on. The ending. So, I feel like a lot of books, what happens is you read a book and you're like, this is the book I'm getting into. Like, I know what I'm getting into. And then by the end, you're like, that is not what I signed up for. Like, it got way more intense than I anticipated. And she just dumped so much information at the end that it was, like, hard to focus on one piece and like know what she was saying. So I was just kind of like, thanks for all the information. I still have no idea what's gonna happen in the next couple of books. I was very freaked out by all the demons. It always comes down to demons though at some point. And the fact, the fact that the king in Parrington can like control people with the black rings freaks me out a little bit. And, like, the king knows about word marks, but Celaena doesn't know this, and, like, it was, like, really bad. And so Celaena keeps talking, she's like, the king can't find out about this. The king can't know about word marks. And so then we get this chapter from the king's POV, and the king's just like, oh yeah, I know about word marks. Suck on that. Haha. And so I was just like, what the hell? Like, you can't know! So let's talk about the love triangle. I've heard mixed things. A lot of people are Team Chaol, apparently. I'm new to this fandom, so I don't know all the ins and outs of it. I do have a friend who I was voxing the whole time, and she's like, I'm Team Dorian, and Christine is Team Dorian. But, like, I mean, I like Dorian, and I appreciate his character. Like, I loved when he sent Celaena those books. Like, that was just so cool and, like, fun. But, like, he would be my friend. Like, he wouldn't be my guy to date. You know, he's just kind of like a fun dude who I could read books with and be like, hey, you're cool, but I would never kiss you. Like, whenever he and Celaena kissed, I was just like, not feeling it. And the good news was, it wasn't like an immediate romance where he and she were just like, OMG, I love you, you know? It was more like, well, we could be in a relationship, and eventually I could see myself in a relationship, but I'm not really in love with you, but like, I kind of am, but like, it took a while to develop, you know? And so I thought that was like, well done, but I still don't support them dating, unfortunately. I like Chaol too much. He is just the sweetest. I don't even know. Like, I don't know anything about the dude, but he just intrigues me, and he tried so hard. So hard the entire time. Like, when he tried to ask Celaena to go to the ball with him, and he just, like, couldn't, and, like, it didn't happen, and he was like, aw, darn. And then Dorian kisses Celaena, and she goes out on the balcony and leaves, and Chaol's, like, standing there, and he's like, she didn't even look down to see me, and I can just picture, like, one small tear. Ugh. I love him. Like, the scene where he was congratulating Celaena, and she just hugs him, and he was just like, aw, hug. Like, I love you. I was just like, I don't know what it is. Like, I didn't even want this. I kind of was shipping Dorian at the beginning, and then by the end I was just like, no. Like, Chaol is a sweetheart. I love him, and he's strong, and he notices that Celaena is strong and don't need no man, and it's just, it works out. I don't know. If I had it my way, she would not end up with either of them. Like, she would get her freedom and skedaddle and not even talk to either of them for the rest of their lives, but I don't think it's gonna work out like that, unfortunately. I mean, there's a lot of things. I was watching Christine's book talk, actually, before I made this, and, like, she commented on a bunch of things that I wanted to say, but, like, I don't know. They're just, like, little tidbits. Like, I really want to know more about Celaena's past, but not that much that I want to read her novellas, because I don't do novellas, so, like, I'm probably not going to pick up the Assassin's Blade anytime soon, but I kind of want to know, like, more about this Assassin King. He sounds terrible and not fun. I still can't believe she smashed her hand. Like, do you understand how much, like, I would not be able, like, I could hardly, like, like cut myself, like, you know, like on purpose. But like she just like shut a door on her hand and broke her own hand. Another thing about the triangle, the love triangle, it kind of reminds me of Clockwork Princess, because you have like Jem and Will who are like, you know, BFFs, both falling for the same girl, and then you have Kale and Dorian who kind of don't know it yet, but they're both falling for the same girl, and it's gonna end badly for somebody. I don't know, I'm interested to see where the books go, just because like this one left so much open. Like it started out just being a series about this assassin getting her freedom, but now it's a series about like possible rebellions. You know, Dorian's probably gonna become king at some point, and then you have like all the magic and like the evil magic and the good magic, and then you have Queen Elena and what's she gonna do, and like so many possibilities. I'm just so excited for the next book and I can't wait. Either way, more Kale, more Selena, more fun times, more Fleetfoot hopefully. So I can't wait. I'm gonna get the second one as soon as I can, and I'm really excited and I liked it a lot, and I can't I have so many feels, so many things that I want to get out, but I can't, you know? You know, I feel like I had more to say, but good job, Sarah J. Maas. You're awesome. And I guess I'll talk to you guys later now that I'm waving. It's time to go. Bye.